Tony Hawk was born on May 12, 1968, in Carlsbad, California, into a family that would unknowingly support the birth of one of skateboarding's most influential figures. Raised in the southern part of California, where skateboarding culture flourished in the late 1970s and early 1980s, Tony was introduced to the world of skateboarding at the age of 9. Like many children of that era, Tony's fascination with skateboarding began after seeing older. As a young boy, Tony struggled with his aggressive personality and lack of focus, but skateboarding provided him with an outlet. By age 12, he was already skating circles around his peers, earning a reputation for his raw talent. However, his skating career was initially difficult due to his inability to fit in with the older skaters. At first, Tony was considered too young and too small to compete at the highest levels, but he persevered. In 1977, Tony entered his first competition and ended up finishing 12th. Despite the unimpressive result, this experience fueled his drive to improve. He practiced relentlessly, often skating for hours each day in his backyard, experimenting with new tricks and refining his skills. By 14 years old, Tony had already developed a reputation in the local skateboarding scene, which eventually led to his sponsorship by Powell Peralta in 1980. This sponsorship would change the course of his life, propelling him into the professional skateboarding world. Tony Hawk's ascent to prominence began in the mid-1980s, when the world of skateboarding was evolving rapidly. At just 16 years old, Tony Hawk was already becoming a well-known name in the skateboarding community. The development of vertical skating, a style of skating that involves performing tricks on ramps and halfpipes, was gaining momentum, and Hawk was one of the key figures leading this revolution. He became an expert at this type of skating, mastering the halfpipe and performing daring tricks that had never been attempted before. In 1984, Hawk won his first national title at the World Skateboarding Championships, marking the beginning of his rise to prominence. From that point forward, his career quickly skyrocketed as he began competing at the highest level of skateboarding. He was known for his bold tricks and ability to combine technical difficulty with style, and by the age of 18, Tony was already a professional skateboarder in the vert circuit, competing in the 10th Games and other major competitions. As skateboarding gained mainstream attention in the late 1980s, Tony Hawk became one of its most iconic figures. His name was synonymous with the sport, and he became a household name, especially among younger skaters. Tony's aggressive style of skating combined with his unique flair for innovation set him apart from the rest. He began introducing new tricks to the skateboarding community that would define his career, including the famous ollie technique, a maneuver that allowed skaters to leap into the air without grabbing their board, and the 900, a trick in which a skater spins 2.5 full rotations in midair. The 1990s marked the peak of Tony Hawk's career, as he solidified his place as one of the greatest skateboarding legends of all time. By this point, he had won numerous national and international competitions, and he was widely considered the best skateboarder in the world. One of the highlights of Tony's career came in 1999 when he successfully completed the first ever 900 at the 10th Games in San Francisco. The achievement sent shockwaves through the skateboarding world, as no one had thought it possible to complete 2.5 full rotations in midair on a vertical ramp. At the time, the trick was considered a huge milestone in the sport and remains one of the most iconic moments in skateboarding history. Beyond his performance in competitions, Tony Hawk was instrumental in growing the sport of skateboarding globally. As one of the first professional skateboarders to truly gain international recognition, Tony's influence reached far beyond the skateboarding community. His partnership with Powell Peralta led to the creation of his own skateboard model, the Tony Hawk Pro model, which became a bestseller and helped introduce skateboarding to a new generation of fans. Tony Hawk's name became synonymous with success, and he continued to dominate competitions throughout the decade. He became known not only for his technical abilities but also for his business acumen. In addition to his skating career, Tony also pursued ventures in the entertainment industry, including the release of the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater video game series, which became an international phenomenon and introduced skateboarding to. By the early 2000s, Tony had already achieved legendary status in the skateboarding world. He had successfully transitioned from competitive skater to business mogul, using his fame and fortune to launch various brands, including his own line of skateboard gear and clothing. Through his partnerships and endorsements, he was able to establish himself as one of the wealthiest and most influential figures in extreme sports. Tony Hawk's career is defined by several groundbreaking achievements that have shaped the landscape of skateboarding as we know it today. Here are some of his most notable accomplishments. X Games gold medals. Tony Hawk has won several gold medals at the 10th Games, including his legendary performance in 1999, when he became the first skateboarder to land the 900. The 900 trick. Tony is widely regarded as the first skateboarder to successfully complete the 900 trick, a move that earned him widespread acclaim in 1999. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater video game series. The launch of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater video game series in 1999 was revolutionary, introducing skateboarding to millions around the world and changing the way video games approached extreme sports. Skatepark of Tampa. Hawk's influence extended beyond competition, as he played a role in supporting the creation of the famous Skatepark of Tampa, one of the most recognized skate parks in the world. Business ventures. Through his ventures with Birdhouse Skateboards and his own brand of skateboarding gear, Hawk revolutionized the skateboarding market and helped pave the way for other professional skaters to build their own brands. Social impact. Tony Hawk has used his success and platform to support various charitable causes, especially those focused on youth development and supporting underserved communities through the creation of skate parks and skateboarding programs. While Tony Hawk retired from competitive skateboarding in the early 2000s, his influence on the sport remains as powerful as ever. He continues to be involved in skateboarding through his business ventures, including his involvement in skateboarding events, documentaries, and his personal foundation, which seeks to create opportunities for underprivileged children by providing access to skateboarding. In 2011, Tony Hawk was awarded the ESPY Lifetime Achievement Award in recognition of his contributions to skateboarding and his impact on global culture. As a pioneer of modern skateboarding, he continues to inspire a new generation of skaters. Hawk has also maintained an active presence on social media, where he regularly engages with his fans and promotes the sport he helped build. Additionally, Tony still skates for fun and is often. Tony Hawk is more than just a skateboarder. He is a global icon and a trailblazer whose impact on the world of extreme sports and mainstream culture cannot be overstated. From his groundbreaking achievements in competitions to his innovative video games, Hawk's contributions to skateboarding have left an enduring legacy that continues to shape the sport. His influence reaches far beyond the skate park, and he remains one of the most